What's going on YouTube? I was going to do like a repair video and why I don't go to the terminals to get like oil changes and things like that. I made it, feel like I could improve on it, so we're going to go with something else I've been wanting to talk about. And I don't like making videos that everybody else makes or content that you can see anywhere else, which it ain't like my content's fabulous or amazing, but I try to go off the beaten path. But on this one, it's important, and I'll give you my take on it. Winter's coming. It's October now. And what is the things everybody always tell you, you know, make sure you got food on your truck. Make sure, you know, you got your chains. Make sure you got all these blankets in case you're stuck out. People I know in Houston, when I say winter's coming, if you've only been in Texas, it doesn't mean much. When you get out into Wyoming, Washington, Northeast, last year for the Northeast, it wasn't bad at all. The year before, it was pretty rough. I like to call winter in trucking the Great Reset. When you get out here, whether you just got your license or not, you tend to get bad habits, or you can get bad habits, bad driving habits, or you can start driving like a jackass. Now that's all well and good when the roads are dry, right? When it's 80, 90 degrees, you can drive like a bat out of hell and cut people off and do whatever you want to do, however you want to drive. When winter comes, it's the Great Reset. When winter comes, that's Mother Nature's telling you, I wish you would. I wish you would. You throw a little bit of ice on that road, and you throw cold ass 0 degrees or -5 sitting in Kansas, going through Kansas and some wind, you drive like a jackass. You're going to end up in a ditch. You're going to end up flipped over. You're going to end up on one of the trucks that are a line of trucks sitting on the side of I-80 when you go through Iowa after a snowstorm, and you'll just see dozens and dozens of trucks that put it in the ditch. And more than likely, 90% of the time, that person in that truck, if they survived and it wasn't a horrible wreck, now has to find a new job. When winter comes, and when you're driving in adverse, extreme conditions, one mistake, one fuck up, one error of judgment will cause your truck to go off the road, and it is game over. Nobody's gonna hire you. So winter's the great winter in my head is comes around every year, and it shows the people who have gained those bad habits and horrible habits and drive with ignorance. Winter's gonna show them. It's gonna put them, and hopefully it ain't gonna put you. You ain't gonna be in between that truck in the ditch whenever he decides to lose control. And what is a lot of people preach, and I preach it too, but they're not adding the shades of gray to it, where it's real easy to say just pull over if you feel unsafe. Right? If you don't feel comfortable, pull over the truck and park it until the storm passes, until road conditions improve. And I agree 110%, but that's not taking into account the pressure that you're gonna feel. Let's say you're midweek and the loads you were on are gonna, and when you deliver it, you making on-time delivery is gonna be the difference between you getting a $4,000 check and no check. And you have to deliver it at this certain amount of time. In order for you to do that, you got to go through Shitsville or whatever storms there, or whatever adverse conditions, in order to make that load and make that paycheck. It's a lot harder to call somebody and say, hey, I'm parking this bitch. Hey, I'm stopping. Because then they reschedule it, and now that good paycheck ain't going to be a good paycheck no more. And you might have bills to pay. You might got rent that's due. You got a light bill you got to pay. Pull over. It's real. It's easy to say pull this truck over when you factor in life to it, and factor in the situations and the things and the stresses, that the deadlines you got to make in life when it comes to your bills. It's going to be hard, but pull over. Don't become a truck in a ditch. Don't become the guy sitting there in Wyoming with a 25 grand tow bill because you wanted to drive with 90 mile an hour winds. Don't turn your truck into a kite. As hard as that might seem, no matter what you have, it's better to be able to roll when the storm clears than now you got a bill to pay, or you paid your light bill, but now you ain't got a job. See what I mean? What's the one thing? Ain't no load too hot where it ain't gonna cool off when it's sitting in a ditch. Some safety guy that was here before I was here said that, and they always say that, but it's true. So just remember, whatever stresses you got going on, it's better than the stress of being flipped over on a highway or being kicked into or pushed into. And half the time that I've pulled over in winter hasn't even been the conditions themselves. It's been idiots around me driving and said, not normal conditions, but just shady shit where their trailer will slide off into your lane, or you see them peeling out, pushing out, and sliding off. You could do everything perfectly on that road in winter in a storm, and that's not going to stop some jackass from running into you, sliding into you. Especially full trucks are just as bad now. Like I was thinking about the other day, there's just as many idiot truck drivers as there are four-wheelers. You can do everything right, and it still is not going to guarantee that you're going to make it to where you got to go unharmed, especially in winter. Because the jackass driving next to you in the summer is just a jackass driving next to you. In the winter, that jackass does something stupid next to you, now you're going off the road. So be careful, right? And all the same shit. Stock up on your food, your water, your blankets. But pull over if you don't feel safe. Pull over. Don't lose your career. It's better to lose a fat check than a career. Because it's just the stresses of life will cause you to be like, I'm running it. I'm going. I need some money. Be real careful. Be real careful out there. And I hope all y'all have a good day. I'm doing good. Chilling. Got my oil changed. Did a 34. Breathing over here in fuck am I? Every time I try to remember where I'm at, I never remember. Indiana, right outside Indiana, at the smallest Loves and Pilot I've ever seen in my life, but it works out. And yeah, hope y'all are doing good. Be safe this season. Be safe. Stay on your P's and Q's. And don't let Mother Nature make you a victim, because shit's going to get hairy. It always does every year. And you want to make it to the next year. You want to make it to next season. You want to make it. And the only way sometimes you can do that is if you just hold off for a couple days and the weather changed completely. So, yeah. And then I'm working on my... I want to say I'm working on my... I told you I've had like where I've won and lost fortunes. And so I've been doing research on other people who have won and lost fortunes and their stories. And it turns out I didn't have it that bad. Right? Like when it comes to oh shit scale, I didn't completely lose my mind like some of these people have. But we'll get into that in another story. Hope y'all are doing good. Hope y'all are being decent. Fight for right. Communicate with each other. Fight ignorance where you can. And have a good day. Tiptoe Tim before I'm gone. Y'all take it easy.